Right, today we're going to look at cross-elasticity of demand, and this measures how much the demand responds to a change in price of another good. So if, for example, pasta goes up in price, how elastic is demand for rice? How will that change demand for rice? So it's looking at two different products. We've got a calculation here. This is cross elasticity of demand, and that is equal to a percentage change in quantity demanded of product A, little spelling mistake, of product A, divided by percentage change in price of product B. And then from that calculation we know it's elastic when it's more than one, and inelastic when it's less than one. But the difference between this and price elasticity of demand is in cross elasticity of demand, it can be a positive or negative. If it's a positive, there's substitutes. The products are substitutes. Substitutes would mean one product can substitute, can replace another, like rice and pasta. When it's negative, the two products are complements. We mean, in this case, for example, petrol and cars. If we use cars, if we buy cars more, we're going to use more petrol. Or software and computers. If we buy more computers, we're going to use more software. So those are called complements. Now, we have an example. So a personal computer is $1,000 and the sales are 100, and the price of laptops, which is a substitute, decreases by 2%, leading to a demand in personal computers to fall to 96. So here we've got a fall in the price of laptops. So we've got a decrease in the price of laptops, which leads to a demand in computers to fall. Obviously, here we're gonna have more people buying laptops. So this is two negatives makes a positive. So it's +2. So that gives us an example of substitute. For an example of complements, the average price of software, which is the complement, falls by 5%. This encourages PCs, the sales of PCs, so the demand rises to 101 at the original price. So here we can see that one's gone down, the average price has gone down, but that increases the demand for PCs, so you've got a negative and a positive, so that's going to end up as minus the coefficient, which is 0.2. Okay, so that gives us an idea. If the XED, cross elasticity of demand, is 0, there's no relationship. We know if in a calculation the percentage change is 0, it makes the fraction a 0. So we conclude that there is no relationship. One change in price will not change anything in the other product. Okay, this we can do in the class. The relationship between PED, price elasticity of demand, and total expenditure. What is this? Well, first of all, total expenditure, we're talking about all what consumers spend. For example, if we've got 10 computers at $100 each, the total expenditure will be $1,000. They will have bought $1,000 worth, they would have spent in total $1,000. And total expenditure equals the total revenue. That's what the business takes, or businesses. How does it affect the PED, affect this total expenditure or total revenue? Well, if we look at this graph here, this is an elastic demand, very flat, and this is an inelastic demand, quite vertical. And we can see that a little change, or not a little change, a little change in price for this elastic one. Here you've got a change in price to here, causes a big change in quantity sold. So a little change in price means that a lot more people will buy the product, which will have an effect on the total revenue, because it's price times quantity, the total revenue. Alternatively, the inelastic one means a little change in price really means a little change in quantity sold. So we have, again, not much change in the total revenue. In fact, a little change in price could actually bring down the total revenue. The space here, maybe more than the space here. So this graph shows us the relationship between the inelastic and the elastic on total revenue, how it affects total revenue. Very important to know for a business. We know, if we can try to make our products more inelastic, and we'll show you how in a sec, then we can put our prices up, and it won't, do too much damage to the demand for our products. So our total revenue will go up. We look how to make it price inelastic: advertising, branding, getting customers to habitually buy our products, merging with competitors, so there's less substitutes. Remember, substitutes can increase the elasticity. If we merge with our competitors, there's less, creating a monopoly, again, less substitutes. So why make it more price inelastic? Like I said, then we can put prices up and it doesn't hurt our demand so much. We've got more power and control in the market. Another thing to consider with income elasticity of demand is how will it be useful to countries with emerging markets like China. So, we've got the Chinese increasing their incomes. How will that affect the demand for our products? Obviously, that will have big effect. So we'll talk about that in the lesson, I think. That's got to be interactive. And here too, we can talk about that in the lesson.